Welcome to another episode, Middle Ground with JLE, L.L.C, where we treat you like family. We're having a relationship episode edition today. Have a great friend, a mentor, a big brother, Donald Davis and his wife, Patrice Davis. Talk about 23 years of amazing marriage. It's going to be a great show. Thank y'all for joining the show.
Thank you for having us.
All right. First question. 23 years of marriage. How did y'all meet?
Interesting.
Very interesting story.
Wow, man. I was actually just got off work and I went to Kmart's.
Yep.
Kmart's to get me some socks for work.
Okay.
I come out of Kmart's. There's this lady in a parking lot. She has a baby in the back seat of her car. She has this big box, and she's trying to shove this box in the car, and she's killing the baby. You know.
Okay.
So I told her, I said, "Look here, the box is not gonna fit in that car." I said, "I'm gonna give you my driver license. I'm gonna take your box. When we get to your house, I give you your box. You give me my driver license."
Hmm.
I take the box to her house. I sit on the porch. She was like, "No, you got to bring it upstairs and put it together." So I take it upstairs. I put it together. I say, "Hey, can I get my driver license now? I gotta go." So she gives me my driver license. She's like, "I gotta get your number."
Okay.
I was like, I don't know if I want to give you my number, but okay. I gave her my number,
Uh-huh.
and it was her friend that I was helping.
Okay.
And then she called me. And then, we talked on the phone for a couple about a week, 3 days?
About a week.
We talked on the phone about a week. Then we went out. I'm just gonna be honest, all this is about honesty. She almost didn't make the cut, bro.
What?
Yeah, I'm gonna tell the truth, man.
Yeah, we tell the truth here.
She almost didn't make the cut. She came over, looked like she had on her brother jogging pants.
Oh.
And she had on this shirt, this sweater, that almost like what how the stuff the TLC wear.
Yeah.
In a video, I ain't too proud to beg.
Yeah.
The shirt come all the way down to your kneecaps.
Okay, I was
Yeah, man. I was like, so we go out. First date, I took her over to this restaurant. It's no longer here. They got it in New York. Have you ever heard of Bennigan's?
Yeah. You can be downtown. That's right.
Yeah, so I took her to Bennigan's on Northwestern Highway. We sitting there, we order food and everything. Then while we eating, there's no one else around us. Her I guess we had to be one of the ex-boyfriends kept coming over there kicking the chair. So I had to jump up. I had to jump up and chase him off. First date, man. Come on, this is the first date. Then we went to Northwest. So you know how long ago this was?
Yeah, a long time ago.
Northwest Theater, and we went to dinner. We went to dinner with the theater, and then.
And then you convinced me that Babyface was singing.
Yeah, I said Babyface. Me and Babyface were real cool, and he actually sung a song and put my name in it. And
Okay.
and, I played the song, and she was like, "Are you serious?" I was like, "You call Babyface yourself. Call Babyface yourself." Yeah, but that's what started it right there. And me, when she met me, I was still a wild boy,
Yeah.
But she took up a lot of my time. She took up a lot of my time, and at that time, I was at the garbage company, so I go to work, I get off work, and as soon as I take the shower, and I'm about to hit the streets, she pull up like, "Hey, come on, let's go. You hang out with me." We go get some Red Devils. You remember the Red Devils up there, Finkel?
Yeah. Giants love they people.
Yeah, man. We go get some Red Devils, get us some Hawaiian Punch, and then we come back to the house and watch a movie, man.
Okay. That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's where it started, right there. It started right there, and then things, began to progress. You know, we moved in. We moved in together, right?
After about 7 or 8 months.
Yeah, about 7, 8 months. We moved in together. We got us a little place, man, and then I was kind of outdone. You know, we moved in together because I was staying with my mom's. The mom. You know, I was young. And the mom, whatever mom wanted is what mom got, right?
Yeah.
So when I moved into my own place, I asked her one day we was there about 2 months. I was like, "Where all this extra money coming from?" And then I was like, "Wait a minute! I was paying my mom $500 every 2 weeks, and now I'm only paying $375 a month."
Just to show you how long ago that was.
Dang, your mom was gangster.
Yeah, my mom, man. Yeah, my mom.
Wow.
My mom was. She was about it, man.
Wow. I see.
Yeah. So what happened after that? Didn't we? Oh, then babies start coming, man.
Yeah, you got a few kids.
Yeah,
Just a few, just a couple.
we got 7 kids, man. I think that's a couple subs on the basketball team, huh?
Yeah, you got a team.
Yeah. So we sat down, we talked and everything. We decided we was gonna go ahead on and get married. Actually, I said, well, you know what? This marriage thing, I didn't, I ain't not planning on marriage. I said, look here, I help you with the color, I help you with the bouquet, and after that, just tell me what it be. So I said, so when we gonna do it? It was in April we had this conversation.
Mm-hmm.
April of 1999. She said, okay, all right. I said, just tell me what we're gonna do, how we're gonna do this.
Mm-hmm.
From April, she said the date is August 1999. Okay. That fast? Most people get a year.
Oh man.
This leading up to the wedding, it was just so many things, man. Because like we did it all by ourselves. We rented the hall. The bouquet, we sat down one day and made it ourselves.
Okay.
We went over to this. What was the name of the place? So we got our suits from. Miracle Wedding Village.
Miracle Wedding Village.
They don't exist no more. Miracle Wedding Village. We went in there. We got suited. We got
What about the part where I took the rent money and bought my wedding dress?
Yeah. I gave her rent money. No, that wasn't rent money.
Yes, it was.
No, that was car note money.
Oh, that was car note money?
I gave her the car note money. I said, go pay the car note. And then she went out with my mom and my sister-in-law. And who else was with y'all?
My mom.
Your mom. And she come in with this bag. I said, well, where you get a bag from? She was like, I don't want to tell you. I said, no, please tell me. She said, I bought my dress. I said, did you? I said, that's nice. That's real nice. With the car note money.
We were fine though. He had probably 4 or 5 uncashed checks sitting on the dresser.
Okay.
Remember all the extra money he was talking about?
Yeah.
I had. If I didn't need the money, I didn't cash a check. I let it sit on the dresser.
And we were very frugal. I mean, we didn't want to. Our plan was never to break the bank. The ceremony was what was important, and the people that were going to be there with us. That's what we felt was important.
Okay.
So we did everything frugally. We did a lot of the preparing ourselves. Like we made the bouquet, and we were just financing everything ourselves. We just paced ourselves, and so we kept the important stuff.
How did y'all know? Okay, I want to marry.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you how I knew. Because even when I was upset with him while we were dating, even while I was upset with him, like I always still wanted what was best for him. And I might not be speaking to him, but I'm like, well, you need to eat this because this is healthy. You don't need that pot. We might not even be speaking, and we never went more than 7 days without talking to each other. No matter how angry or heated we got, I knew he was my person because it didn't matter what was going on. He was always my first thought. Even when I was mad or upset, he was always still my first thought.
And you done? Yeah, she used to drive me crazy, man. 3:00 in the morning. I need some Coney Islands. Really. But you know what, man? I anybody else, I probably would have told them, well, I don't know. You better go in there and play magic magician in the kitchen. But for this one, I get up. I make that trip. I make that trip, and we went through a lot. And even before getting married, man, because it's two individuals, and we trying to find that common ground. Mm-hmm. That common ground, man. So she's her own person, I'm my own person, and we are intertwining that. Right before we become one, and one together. So my thing is, yeah, it was trying, but you have to want to put the work in. Because I'm gonna tell you, man, marriage is a job.
Yeah.
I wouldn't tell nobody nothing different. Marriage is definitely a job, but you have to sign up to go to work. You got to want to go to work.
And put the work in. Yeah. It's not always easy, and the important thing is you have to always consider your spouse or your better half, or however you want to address them. You always have to consider them, like in everything. You at work, you at wherever, and somebody approach you, and you're like, what will my spouse think about this? You know what I'm saying? Like, he's always my first thought. Mm-hmm. Still to this day, even when he made me mad, he's still my first thought.
Yeah, I don't. Because listen, we've been married. We going on 23 years, August 28th. Mm-hmm. Her getting mad, I honestly relate to that like the TikTok. Mm-hmm. I argue with you. You mad. I'm happy. You real mad, man. Listen, we didn't got to this point in our relationship, man, where there's nothing to argue about. We done ran out of stuff. we have really run out of stuff to argue about. But my thing is, yeah, man, it's been a blissful 23 years, man.
We definitely had more good times than bad times.
Oh yeah, definitely.
They definitely outnumber.
Definitely.
And there was a time when we weren't getting along and we would argue, and sometimes it would get really bad, and then we sit back, we step back, we think about it. Mm-hmm. We had to learn not to speak in anger. When you're in that angry moment, you need to take that time and pray and think about what you're going to say, and think about how it's going to affect that person and how it's going to affect you. So thinking and praying. And we learned that when he will tell you, when I'm upset with him, he knows, because I'm not saying anything.
No, she won't talk to you.
I'm not saying anything. I have to be at the point where we can discuss it.
When she get mad at me, man, it's listen, the bad thing about it is when she get mad at me, man, even the kids know. You know what I'm saying? It's a silence in the house, man.
It's a silence, and we have, I have to sit back and think.
And I do the same thing. When I get mad, and they got this thing they say about me. They said, long as dad is fussy, he's okay. Beware.
When he's quiet, it's a problem, brewing.
It's not good when I'm quiet.
It's not good when I'm quiet either. But like I said, I always make sure, like, when we first started dating, a lot of our arguments, we would say things in anger, things we didn't mean, things we wish we could have took back. We learned to stop doing that. So that was important.
Yeah, the first argument, she was talking about my toes, bro.
Your toes, man.
Yeah, she gonna tell me I got
Fred Flintstone
toes and stuff.
Oh no, that ain't right.
We just have to change the sandals and put the sandals that cover the toe.
Oh yeah, she gonna tell me because I had the sandals with the toes out, and she was like, don't nobody wear those sandals. I was like, I wear these sandals. She said, if you watch The Passion of Christ, Jesus had those on. And I said, really? This is what you do to me? This is yeah. Wow. You know, and even as little routines in our marriage that we did to get over hurdles and humps and navigate on the road instead of going up and down the hill and around them. See, because we never run from a mountain we was intended to climb. But one thing that we did and we came up was using the index card method.
Yeah.
We got a deck of index cards and we split them in half. And I told her, write everything that I do that aggravates you, and I'll do the same. Then we switch cards, and then we wrote the resolution on the back. So one of hers was, I come in from work, I'm at the garbage company, it is what it is, and my boots be dirty, but I kick them off at the front door. So I stopped for a while, but then I came home, had a bad day, wasn't thinking, kicked them boots off, and I'm sitting down relaxing. She come and hand me that card. I read the card. So it's like a self-check.
Okay. That's a good idea.
So I put the card on the table, went and got my boots up, and there was no argument. So you can come up with different ways. Like another thing is, my wife don't like embarrassment. So when I really got to tell her something that I really think she's going to get heated, I take her out to dinner. She ain't gonna raise her voice out of dinner.
Smart move.
See, but that's the thing. Your spouse, you learn them. You learn them. Just like I told my wife a long time ago. I told her I got strict things. I said, you got you, I got us. And I told her, I said, look here. Everybody goes out and they look for that perfect man or that perfect woman. The list person. No, you find somebody that you're willing to help unpack their luggage. And as you grow with this individual, you actually molding them into what you really want. And that's how you get perfection. You mold them into what you want. I molded her, she molded me. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Into what we each wanted in a mate. You're not gonna get instant gratification just on the boom first hit. But I would tell anybody looking to become married or even looking for a wife, don't worry about finding a good woman. Be a good man. A good woman will find you. Just be a good man. Just be a good man. Like I was telling my boys, I sit down, I have all these conversations with my boys because I believe in men. I told my sons, I say, a real man don't need to live with his girlfriend because he got his own house. He don't need to drive her car because he got his own car. He don't need to borrow her money because he makes his own. What a man needs from a woman is only the things that he can't provide for himself. And that goes vice versa. When two people come together, they come together to build. You know what I'm saying?
That was something else that we did like early in our relationship. We never had like, okay, the rent's $400, so you need $200, I need $200. No, from day one, what we had, I got $400, and it's not his pay week, then I paid the $400. And then on his pay week, whatever is due, he paid that. And it was never, I owe you or you owe me, because it was never my money or his money. It was our money and what's best for our family. So we've never separated like our income. So we never argue about money.
Never. That's the blessing.
A lot of people do.
Yes.
We never argue about money. I have never argued.
We never argue about finances, money, bills. Because if the bill didn't get paid, it's because neither one of us had it.
Right.
Okay.
So, you know,
Right.
and it's nothing to argue about because I ain't have it, you ain't have it. We can't. There's nothing we can do about it. So,
We're gonna figure out what we're gonna do about this.
yeah, we're gonna do next. But it was never my money, his money. It was always our money, and that was because we wanted to do what was best for our family. We can't say our family if my money is my money and his money is his money, and I'm hiding money from him and he hiding money from me. And you know, when you start talking about half, that's for your roommate. Your roommate pay half the bills. When you get married, you become one. So how we one and we splitting bills like we roommates? We can't be splitting bills like roommates. This is our family. We got to do what's best for our family. So that was
Now,
great for me.
how important is God over your relationship?
Very, very important. Always have to be fearful of what you're doing in your marriage because you took a vow in front of God that you were going to do this. Like, it no matter what we argue about or what's going on in our house, I treat him the way I told God I was going to treat him. I'm going to stick by him. Whether we rich, whether we poor, we could be sleeping on air mattresses, we could be eating peanut butter sandwiches. I told God that I was going to be with him. And that's where I am. And I'm here. It's very important. We pray as a family. We go to church as a family.
You told God you were gonna fight me in my sleep.
That's
no,
you. No, that's him. Let me tell you. Wait. When we go to bed at night, Donald will be sleeping, and his body a jerk. So I always have to leave me a little space because he'd be like, and I'm like, ah, and he's like, sorry.
Yeah,
that's him. That's him.
But you know what? No, I didn't play. I didn't play with God with that because my thing about it, even before we even got married, I took a covenant class. I took a therapeutic class. We took an AIDS class. So my thing about it, I needed to know exactly what I was signing up for because I didn't want to play.
To show you how a mustard seed can grow, I'm about to tell you how awesome your mom is. So when Darius, our son Darius, was in preschool, your mom was working at the school where he was. First of all, Darius loves vegetables because Miss Edwards gave him vegetables, and it was very important he ate his vegetables. Miss Edwards also told him that he should always be thankful for his food and he should thank God before he eat. So when my son was in preschool, he loves your mom so much, he incorporated, we cannot eat a meal in his house without saying grace. That's first of all.
So my thing is, I gotta play devil's advocate. So we fix plates, and I say, hey, Darius always want to say grace before we eat. Don't nobody say grace. Just start eating. He got up and threw his plate away and went to bed.
He didn't want to eat because we did not say grace. Just to see. And to this day, it's still what we do. And sometimes we have people who maybe don't go to church as much, or maybe their belief isn't as strong. They come over and they're looking at us and we're like, hold on, don't eat yet. We have to say grace. They're like, you don't really say grace? First of all, we eat as a family.
Yes.
We say grace before we eat. So a lot of times people looking like, y'all really doing this? We do this. Yep. This is how we live. But your mom also taught him that about married people. So our cousin came over with his girlfriend and he kissed his girlfriend one day. And Darius is like, I didn't know you were married.
Because your mom told him
that married people kiss.
Only married people kiss. and it stuck with him. It stuck with him, and he was like, I didn't know you was married. He was like, we're not married. Well, y'all ain't supposed to be kissing.
So that's that mustard seed. You know, your mom is awesome. We love her. And Darius really loves her, I'm telling you. And she planted that mustard seed in our baby very young. And he's 22. Wow. And he still lives by it. It's in there.
Wow.
Yep. Plant that seed and it's still there.
That's amazing. She coached a lot of kids up. Yeah. So, what are y'all thoughts on family and friends knowing details of the relationship?
Well, my thing, family and friends, you tend to be mindful because you got to understand some people might be happy for you, some may not be happy for you. So we tend to.
You have to
we try to
look at the
draw ourselves to-
relationship, not your relationship, but look at your relationship with this family member or with this friend, because they can also like try to tear you down. Like when Donald and I first got together, one of his family members used to tell me, "You should break up with him. You shouldn't be with him." But I can't go on what she say because what she's saying, what my heart is feeling, you know.
Mhm.
And I know that hopefully her intentions are good, but what if they're not? I decided to be in a relationship with him. It's up for me to decide if I don't want to be with him or we shouldn't be together. Like, I'm not going to just jump on somebody, oh, y'all shouldn't be together. I have to see for myself. I have to learn. And what she was saying is not what I saw in him.
Okay.
So, and even to this day, I trade, like, it depends on my relationship with the person. Like, first of all, I hate for people to say, and I hate to say hate, but I don't like when people say you should break up or you should leave. You should never tell a person who's married that they should leave their spouse, first of all. You should be encouraging and supportive toward them and maybe help them come up with ways to fix their relationship. But marriage is supposed to be lifelong. It's supposed to be to death do you part. So if a person tells me you should leave him or y'all should break up, I have to think twice about my relationship with them because you want me to break the covenant that I made in front of God. So now I'm questioning you, like, you really want me to do that? Like, I have to feel like, for me, I have to feel it myself. And if I'm not feeling it, it don't matter what they say.
Yeah, that's the thing nowadays where marriages don't last that long.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't want to put in the work. Like I said at the beginning, it takes a lot of work, man. It takes a lot of work. It's like another job. Marriage is a job.
And a lot of times people want to change the person that they're with. They want to change that person to fit whatever persona that they want. And if that's not what that person is doing, you have to respect that person for being an individual. Donald likes action movies. I like drama. He'll watch a drama with me, and I'll watch action with him. I'm not changing him.
But I won't watch a scary movie with him.
No, he won't do any scary movies, and that's fine. That's fine. You don't have to do.
I don't do scary movies because men are visuals. No, I ain't gonna do no scary movie.
But I respect him for his differences from me. We don't have to be the same. We don't have to like the same foods. We don't have to have the same hobbies. I respect his differences, and his differences help me because it helped me see things differently. And I'm sure mine helped him see things differently.
Now, how do y'all feel about people who get comfortable in the relationship? An example would be, let's say, the man or woman keep themselves up in the beginning, and then over time after they're married, they just chilling. Like, I got you, I'm good.
Well, that goes back to an old saying. And the same thing you did to get them, you got to do the same thing to keep them.
Yeah, then you have to.
My thing is, you got to show up. My thing about you can't let yourself go. You can't got to let yourself go. See, when you start letting yourself go, then you get to the point where, like for example, 23 years, we still date. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You gotta keep some fact. You gotta keep that fire going. Okay. You gotta keep that fire going.
But I also feel like if a person gets too comfortable, or you see them letting go of themselves,
you gotta encourage them.
You have to encourage them, or like have a conversation. Not tell them, well, you need to lose some weight, but try to figure out what's going on with you. Are you okay? Like, is there something going on? Is there something bothering you? Because usually, I would think some people, when they start letting themselves go, maybe they're losing their self-esteem or
depression.
But before you just give up and walk away, try to figure out why is this going on? Is there anything you want to change? Anything I can do to help you?
Okay.
It's always a conversation. It should always be at least be a conversation. And even if you don't come to a resolution,
at least a conversation. Hey.
At least you had the conversation. That way you can never go back and say, well, maybe I should have said something, or maybe I should have did something differently. Because at least you tried.
Okay. What are some of the challenges you two have faced?
Well, for one, Donald has these things where he jerk when he's sleeping. He's popped me upside my head. No,
you say challenges?
Yeah, challenges.
We went through a lot of challenges in our marriage because we had 2 kids that had sickle cell anemia. So therefore, we had to switch roles off and on because, like, at one time, my son, he came very ill. He ended up going to the hospital. He was there for a month.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to go to work and then be Mrs. Doubtfire when I get off work because she stayed down at the hospital. So my thing about it is I know she down at the hospital. So what I do is I get off work, I grab the kids, I grab some food, shoot some food down into her, and then I come home and cook.
And help with homework, whatever the kids needed at home that I usually did. He would do both roles while I sat and took care of whatever kid was in the hospital. And there were even times when both boys were in the hospital at the same time. So
and then she's multitasking.
Then I'm multitasking and trying to work with the hospital. Like, can I get them in the same room because I keep having to run up and down the hallway because both my babies is here. So it's just that was a challenge. But I think challenges like that made us grow closer because it helped us see who our village was. So when we're in a situation like that and we need help, we saw who was there, so we knew who our village was. But it made us closer because people that we thought would be our village weren't always our village. But
No. Go ahead.
But instead of, I never got angry or upset. It's just like, wow, I really thought that they would be here for us or that person would be here for us. And it actually made us grow closer because
but I had to explain to my wife that dealing with sickle cell anemia is different from dealing with someone that has a sickle cell trait. And a lot of times it's people just scared of it.
They didn't know and didn't understand what it was.
When you don't understand something, of course it's going to scare you. So my thing about it is with people not knowing what to do for people that have sickle cell, if they have a pain crisis or they catch a fever.
Or they never saw them going through and understood what was going on.
And their eyes getting jaundice and everything. Not knowing that will scare them. So that way, a lot of people didn't know. So growing up, we didn't have babysitters.
Yeah, because people were scared to babysit our kids because they didn't want to have to care for the 2 boys with sickle cell disease, and they didn't know what they were doing.
Okay.
Yeah. So even that even with sickle cell, we became pros. I could walk by my kid to this day, and if he got a fever, I can smell it.
Yes, we can smell it
because
when we walk by.
You just that in tune with your children.
And then the other one, he grinds his teeth.
He grinds his teeth when he gets hurt. When he's hurting.
When he's hurt, he grinds his teeth. So we'll be in the bed sleeping, and we'll hear him grinding his teeth, and it wakes us up out of our sleep. You're and he's grinding his teeth. So we have to go see what's wrong with him.
With having kids with sickle cell, it pushed me to the point where I was up. As a protector, I was up, and I'm watching my kids. I could walk by one of my kids' room, and I could look at his chest and tell if he's having an asthma attack.
Yeah. We became pros for sure. So here's another challenge. When Donald and I got together, he had a daughter before our relationship, and I had a son. Now, a lot of people, we had a challenge because people couldn't accept that his daughter is my daughter, and my son is his son. And people always wanted him to treat my son like That's your stepchild. And they wanted me to treat his daughter like that's your stepdaughter. I don't have a stepdaughter.
They don't step nowhere.
That's my bonus baby. And she'll tell you in a minute, I'm her mama. And every day, all her life. And this is my son's dad, all his life. So people couldn't understand, like, they're like, there's no way that y'all really functioning like this. Like, yeah, yes, we do. And this is how it is. That's my baby.
And everybody used to say, hey, man, you know, that's your stepson. I said, well, yeah, no, not my stepson. That's my son. He said, okay, that's not your biological son. I said, no, that ain't my biological son. But if I keep feeding you, you're going to start to look like me. So, and my thing about it is, growing up, every birthday, I was at his school, birthday party, cupcakes, everything. So he never felt no void nowhere.
Right. And my baby always feel like, she like, I'm so lucky. I got two mamas. Not just two mamas, but she got two mamas that work together. Because her mama can call me right now. We going to chop it up. And we going to do what's best for my baby. It don't matter how I feel, how she feels. The bottom line is what's best for my baby right now. And we got that. So if she can't do it, she called me. Because there was a time Naya was living with us and her mom was in Louisiana. She needed braces, but her mom was living in Louisiana. So we worked it out that I would take her to get her appointments to get her braces did because I was her other mama. But we worked that out and had nothing to do with him. Like, he didn't come to me and say, she wants you. No, we both want what's best for her too.
When my daughter turned like 5, and we had certain rules in the house. Granted, that's my child. But do I need to give my child a bath if I have a wife?
No, you don't need to. I do it.
I did the boys in the bathroom. Hey, look at that. Pull this back, do this, do that. Clean it. You know.
I did the girls.
She did the girls. And we had some challenges in dealing with for one, here's one. When my mom came down with Alzheimer's and dementia, and she stayed with me, I never thought it would ever turn out this way, but my siblings turned their back on me. I'm working 7 days, 12 hours a day, and she's there with my mom.
And children.
So when she dropped the kids off, which my kids went to school downtown, one went to DSA, one was going to Cass, and one was going to Malcolm X.
So we had three.
Three going to Malcolm X Academy.
And one coming back home with me.
Yep.
Every morning, I put everybody in the car, even Davis, because I didn't want to leave her by herself, and she'd get confused and nobody was here. So we get in the car, we pack all the kids in the car, take them to school. Same thing, it's time to pick them up. Me and Davis get in the car, we go pick up all the kids, bring them home. If I had a doctor's appointment, she came in the room with me. I just closed the curtain. When we were done, I'd open the curtain and I'd talk to her to make sure she wasn't leaving out. But
yeah, my thing is that will be a nice podcast. Alzheimer's and dementia, because
and how it affects.
Because my thing about it is you really get the chance to see what people say back,
twice a child.
Once an adult, twice a child.
And when Donald said his siblings turned their back, I feel like it wasn't that they were literally like turning their backs. They were afraid to accept reality at the time. And like when the doctor would say something, they were like, I don't understand that. And they would disregard what the doctor was saying, but the doctor was clear, like, she might forget things.
Well, my thing about
they're like, well, she's not forgetting that.
The one thing that ran my sister off is because my mom couldn't remember what she did yesterday, but she remembered her childhood.
And they're like, she remembers stuff. She'll tell you where she lived when she was in Georgia. Yeah, but she can't remember last week or last year. She can remember years before.
My mom has been planting flowers for for years.
Yeah, she did.
Bought all these flowers, and we went outside and we sat on the ground, and she had forgot how to plant them. I said, "Well, Mom, don't worry about it. Come on, let's go get us a slushie." We got in the car, we went and got a slushie. I came back, I threw all the flowers away because for years she was a flower lady, but they had gotten to that point. She had gotten to that point. At that point, I think she was in second stage, third stage of dementia.
So we've had a nice share of challenges between the children, and then like when my bonus baby, when her mama moved to Louisiana, they came and stayed with us. So instead of, we had 6 kids in the house at one time, and we were dealing with his mom having Alzheimer's, and we were dealing with his brother and sister not coming to grips with reality about it. So they were trying to stay away, and then we had our other people staying away because they didn't know how to deal with the kids. And then it was like, but through it all, it was always me and him. I had his back. He had mine.
It's always that.
Yeah.
And my family, my cousins and everything, they say, "Man, your brother and your sister did you so bad." He said, "Man, you got to be a real good guy to be talking to them right now." I told him, "Man, I don't hold grudges. I don't hold grudges." He said, "But you ain't scared they're going to do you bad?" I said, "See, this is what you don't understand. At one time, to protect my peace, I had to close that door. Now I open that door up. Now, just because I open that door don't mean I have to invite you in. But I can open that door so we can have dialogue, we can have a conversation. It doesn't necessarily mean I have to invite you in my house. I can still talk to you and make sure you're good without inviting you in my house."
Okay.
So I protect my own peace.
Now, what I say to people that look at a lot of this and say, well, that's the woman's role to take care of kids. You shouldn't be doing that. Or it's his job to go bring home the money, whatever.
Well, what if I don't have a wife at all? Then
Great point.
Whose role is it in? Do they lack? Do we leave them on the side? Do they fall short? Now, listen, I have no problem doing. Listen, I don't got no problem doing nothing. But I tell you what, as long as I do got a wife, there's certain things I'm not gonna do. I promise you that, and I'm not gonna do. I'm never. Listen, my daughter sent me to Walmart because she needed some BRAs, and she gave me the size. And I think her mom was gone, probably out of town or something. There was some reason her mom couldn't do it, and she needed this. And I went to Walmart, and I got 6 BRAs, and I'm in line, and I'm trying to cover them up with cereal boxes and everything. And the customer in front of me said, "Hey, you know that's how Caitlyn Jenner got started."
Yeah, Caitlyn Jenner.
Oh no.
I said, "Okay, right. There it is. I have no problem. I'm never see that's things that's my wife's job."
But there are things that I won't do. Well, I can do them. I just don't. Like, I do not shovel snow, and I do not take out trash. And it's not because I have a husband. I have 4 sons. As long as I got 4 sons, somebody gonna take out my trash and shovel my snow.
I hear that.
But if the regular gender roles, like I said, I think it's important that everybody know how to cook, because ain't nobody promised tomorrow. Like, nobody's promised tomorrow. He don't know how to cook. If something happened to me tonight, he needs to know how to eat. He needs to know how to wash his clothes. He needs to know how to take care of the kids. Those roles, I mean, I can understand why some people lean toward them, but that's not what we do. We both do. We both cook. We both clean. We both take care of the kids. Like I said, our whole thing was from the beginning of our relationship, what's best for our family right at this moment. So if it's best for me to sit, I have more patience with the kids in the hospital, because Donald would go to the hospital and they would kick him out because he would be giving the doctors and the nurses the flux. So no, Donald, you go home. I'm gonna stay here with the doctors and nurses, take care of the baby. But when he came home, that means he still had to take care of the kids that were here. So for the most part, I do about 80% of the cooking in our house.
Okay.
But it's not because I feel like I'm supposed to or it's my job. It's because I enjoy it. And I like for my family to eat and tell me how good I did cooking and all that other stuff. I do it because I want to. I don't do it because I feel like I'm forced to do it.
Okay. And no one should be picked on sex or anything out here. You should better get to BRA. No one go. No, that's cool.
Yeah. Well, you know, when we do remodeling in the house, she'll help me sometimes, but lately she hasn't been helping me because don't nobody want to help me. I work too fast.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't want to. You know what? I gotta take that back. My son Dante.
Mm-hmm.
Dante, when I did the bricks outside, he right there the whole time. He helped me put my stuff together. I bought redid my living room, so I got all this fireplace and everything. He did it. He put it all together. You know, so if something needs to be put together, I know I can count on Dante. You know, if my grass need to be cut, I can call Darius. If I need somebody to go to the store for me, I call Donald.
You need your taxes done, you call
I need my taxes done, or I need some legal work or something like that, I call Devin.
Okay.
I need something on the website or figuring out, I call Naya.
We taught the children from the beginning. Donald has this, the one band, one sound. Like we're a unit. If one of us look bad, we all look bad. So we have to support each other and lift each other up and be there for each other. Y'all ain't gotta like each other, but just to your brother and your sister, we still gonna help. We still gonna be supportive. Because if one of us look bad, we all look bad.
You know, I got 7 kids, man, and I have 6 grown kids. I do not have one grandkid. Not one.
Not one grandbaby.
And because of, I can't change it in every household. But I told my kids, I said, look here, why don't you try making her a wife before a mother? Let's try that. And I say, in any event, it doesn't come out or it doesn't happen that way, just remember, I expect you. Anything that you make out here, you're going to take care of. And that means if I have to come and get you every Friday and take that money over there and give it to that child, to take care of that child, that's what I'm going to do. If you make it, you take care of it. We ain't gonna have this girl coming up, pulling up, talking about baby need. No. Let me tell you something. During our time when we was courting, it was a time when we wasn't getting along. So what I used to do, I used to get off work 30 minutes early, drive down Michigan Avenue, go to Toys R Us. I get a case of milk and I get a case of diapers. And I'll drive and drop it off at her house before she got home.
And then I'll call them and say, what were you doing in my house? We're not getting along. We don't even like each other. You
I don't.
In my house.
Listen, I don't have to see you to take care of my responsibilities.
Yeah, you did, and we did. I mean, and that's just. I really think that was our way of making sure we still talk to each other too. Because, like I said, we've never gone 7 days without talking to each other. Mm-hmm. Even when we were completely broken up, and we still talk all the time. So.
You can't continue to do permanent things with temporary people and not confuse your life.
Yeah, a lot of people don't use lesson. It's a lot of chaos out here.
My granddaddy told me that. I didn't understand what he was talking about. I was 18 years old. I called my granddaddy. I said, hey, granddaddy. He said, yeah, boy. He said, I told him I'm about to have a baby. He said, show enough? I said, yeah. He said, all right. He said, so when you get married? ain't getting married. He said, you one of the dumbest guy I know. He said, you got to be plumb dumb stupid. He said, let me tell you something. You keep doing permanent things with temporary people, you going to mess your life up, boy. And when my oldest daughter mama put me on child support, I knew exactly what he was talking about. I said, ha ha.
Yeah.
That's what the life things and stuff, man. I lecture my boys with it. My boys, my boys got to the point where they're like, Dad, you know what? Could you just whoop us and get it over with? Because I lecture them about life. My thing about it is, growing up, my old man passed when I was 2. So my thing about it is, my choices were be victorious or be a victim. I'm not gonna be a victim. So I learned. I listen. You drive around Detroit. If you see a hair print in a building, it's probably mine. Oh, I bumped my head. But my thing about it is, it don't matter. I fell down 15 times. I'm gonna get up 16. And my thing about it is, I make sure that my boys, they know. I don't want you coming saying, Dad, you never told me. You never explained to me. I tell them everything. Some of the stuff they don't even want to hear. Like, Dad, you need to know. You need to know. Then I lecture them. I lecture them to this day. I tell my daughter, she get up and she was like, I don't know what I would say. I said, Paris, you make up your bed? She was like, no. I said, that's why you can't make up your mind. I tell my other son, how you pose today depends on how your picture come out tomorrow. Go look in the mirror and tell me how you looking.
Okay, so I have to tell them the story. So me and our second oldest son, we work at the same place.
Okay.
We work 2 different shifts. On the days that he works, I'm off. On the days that I work, he's off. So I go to work yesterday, and a little young girl there, she's like, yeah, I met your son. I'm like, oh, okay, that's nice. She was like, I think he likes me. And I'm like, well, why do you think he likes you? She said, because he nice to me. So when a guy is nice to you, that means he like you. He trying to get with you. I'm like, well, what exactly did he do that you thought was nice? He took the trash out. He didn't even ask me to help or nothing. He just took the trash out by himself. I said, well, I'm not going to say he doesn't like you, but I'm going to tell you how my son was raised. His mom and his sister don't take out trash. So if he's working with some women and the trash need to be taken out, he's going to take the trash out because that's how he was raised. She like, no, I think he liked me. I'm like, okay, fine. Then I guess he likes you. He likes everybody because he does. It's nothing special for you. He does it for everybody. That's how he was raised.
People don't think good dudes are out here no more.
They don't. And I'm like,
listen, I had to go through that with her. Because when we first started dating, if I saw somebody stranded, I had to help.
We on a date, and we had to stop on the side of the road and change a tire. We didn't give girls rides home because the car broke down. We just sat on the side of the freeway waiting for tow trucks for complete strangers. So I know how his heart is. So we moved into this one place, and it was a 2-family flat, and the girl upstairs from us, she had asthma really bad. So every time she would come home with groceries, Donald and the boys would carry her groceries upstairs for her. She had a big argument with me because she's like, you just mad because he wants me. I'm like, why do you think he wants you? He rolled my trash can out every week, and every time I come with groceries, he take my groceries upstairs. I'm like, we talked about it, and we don't want you to have an asthma attack trying to bring in groceries. So we help you with the groceries, and they're rolling our can out. So they roll both cans. I was like, I don't understand how women you can't be nice to a woman without her thinking that you want more from her. You just might be a nice person. Donald's a nice guy. He always has been ever since I've known him.
She was the reason I did.
So, and I have to tell them all the time, like, you can't help everybody because it's not going to look the same to them. So, And it has tumbled down to our sons because now the girl at our job thinks our son likes her because he takes the trash out. The other girl, she's like, well, yeah, I think he likes all of us because he always takes the trash out. She's like, we're not special, sweetie. He do it for everybody. That's just how he was raised.
Well, I know he has.
He's gonna hold the door open. He's gonna take that trash out. Mm-hmm. When they leave out the building at night, he goes out first to make sure everything okay. Then he told them, all right. He watched them to their cars. He do it for everybody. But that's because he gets that from his dad. That's what Donald would do. Make sure everybody got in their car. All of that stuff. So he saw his dad doing it, so that trickled down into his life.
I mean, Donald was one of many that my dad got. They gave me the knowledge he would have gave me over the years.
Oh yeah,
I would do that at work.
We used to sit on the porch. We had some deep conversations, and one thing about it is, if I got it, I give it. And you know,
I remember when he was working at the garbage company, and this is when everyone had VCRs. And all my friends need VCRs, but none of them had them. So Donald would find a VCR on the route and bring it home.
Fix it.
He fix it and give them to my friends. And my friends are like, that they had something, or that they had it, or that they could get it. Yeah, my mom had emergency move. He went and packed all my mom's stuff up. So good. My mom like, how did he do it? Like,
I moved her mom out of an apartment using a Taurus station wagon.
Wow.
The couch, all the furniture, L.L.C couch, tables, chairs. He did her bed, everything in a station wagon.
You're a bad dude.
I called him. I used to call him the make it happen captain. Like, if it's gonna happen, he gonna make it happen. That's the make it happen captain.
Yeah, you just got you got to set up. I mean, if you gonna wear that badge to be a man, on to it. You know, we did an emergency move once, and
talk about how the police do that. Wasn't emergency move. Remember the police laughed at us.
Euclid. We had to do an emergency move, so we did the first move, and I told Tracy, I put the bed together. I told Tracy, you got the babies. Take the babies in there.
And your mom too, remember?
And my mom. I said, you got my mom and the baby, so y'all go in there, lay my mom down, you lay down, lay the kids down. I said, I'm going to go back over here and get another load, and I'm just going to do what I can do.
When I woke up, he had moved everything into the house. He had unpacked everything and set up the whole house by the time we
woke
up.
In the refrigerator.
Food was in the refrigerator, everything.
Deep freezer was full.
There were no boxes anywhere. We went to bed, he was moving stuff, we woke up, and everything was done.
Boxes, I got rid of all the boxes. But here's the thing, I was so tired, I ran out of steam, and I was sleeping on the front porch.
Yeah, he was on the front porch sleep. Him and our oldest son, they were both sitting on the front porch, knocked out sleep. I'm like, you guys can't sleep on the porch. They were like, we were just too tired. We just ran out of steam there.
I ran out of steam about 5:45 in the morning. 5:45 ran out of steam. I was like, I can't do no more.
Y'all have taught me that if you say you're a man, you got to make sure you're on period.
Yep.
Take care of your house, your bills, transportation, and if you have someone, you should see the impact. Because anybody can have sex.
Right.
Yeah.
So
it's beautiful.
Go ahead.
It's a beautiful thing, you know. You know, we even got to the point where sometimes we sit around here, we have conversations, and we don't even talk. I don't have to talk to her to have a conversation with her.
We have certain looks, certain nods. We know what it means. It's funny because people don't want to play cards with us because we don't talk across the table.
Oh, y'all cheat?
No, I can just look at his face and I'm like, oh, he got a good hand. Or he look at me and like, oh yeah, she got a good hand. He know how I play. I know how he play. We won't say one word and nobody ever will.
Okay. That's that Carlos and Molly stuff.
Oh yeah.
They'll run everybody for like the next hour playing games.
Yeah.
Won't say nothing.
We need to run up against them because we take off the belt buckle. We don't whoop with the belt. We use the belt buckle. We in tune with it. Don't nobody play us no more.
Nobody will play us in cards anymore. We have to play each other because nobody will play us in cards. But we know each other. Like I know him. We like to say we talk without saying anything, and then we think the same things. I'll be thinking something and he'll say it, or he'll think something and I say it. Like we on that wavelength. We know.
We in sync.
We in sync.
We in sync.
What they call that? They said that's what you call it? Intimacy.
Yeah, intimacy. Well, we talked about intimacy. Yeah. Intimacy. A lot of people think intimacy when you use the word intimacy, they think of us as sex. It's not. Intimacy is basically being with someone that knows your fears, your failures, what you're scared of, what you accomplished, know your upbringing, know everything that went on with you, and does not use that against you. That's true intimacy. And when you got that, you got intimacy. Intimacy is almost when a man could be vulnerable, and it feels normal.
Okay.
Yeah, he can be vulnerable. And it feels normal to him. That's intimacy.
No.
Because my thing about it is, people could go out here, they could have sex with this person, make love to this person, or whatever. But if you don't have intimacy, you're never gonna get what you're looking for anyway. So that's why you keep going to the next, and to the next, and then the next, and then the next, and then the next, because you're looking for that fulfillment, and you only can get that fulfillment through intimacy. And then you can play around all day long. When you get intimacy, that's when you get fulfillment.
Okay. Last question. What advice do you have for someone who wants to get married, a married couple?
Communication is everything. And it's not about even disagreements. Disagreement does not mean you have to argue. It is okay not to agree with everything that your partner says or that your partner want to do. You don't have to agree with it. But you have to make, what's the word I'm trying to make? Compromises. You have to compromise. Communication, compromise, and trust. Those are three very important things. Communication, compromise, and trust. Everything is not all about you. You also have to think about them, their hopes, their dreams, that acknowledge they were a person before you were a couple, that they had hopes, they had dreams before you were a couple. So everything is not about you. When you decide to be with this person and marry this person, you are taking in everything else that they had. Their hopes, their dreams, you're there to support them. You might not agree, you might not want to partake, but you support them. I didn't like football. But after I was like, oh, I can watch football all day now. It's a compromise. I want to spend time with them. We're going to sit down. We're going to watch the game together. We're going to go down there and watch the Lions in person, even though we know they're going to lose. We still going to go watch the Lions. It's about compromise, communication, and trust. You got those things and the love will grow, because when the other person see, like, this person is really rooting for me, this person is in my corner, this person has my back, the love is going to be there. But if you ain't willing to talk about it, you ain't willing to compromise, those are very important. It will cause lots of problems.
I agree with what you said, but I just want to add on to it, because communication is the key. Mm-hmm. But comprehension is too.
Yes.
And then here's another thing it goes back into as our ancestors. A man that looks for a woman looks for someone to provide for. Understand what you get into. You wanna be married? Okay. Understand what this individual wants. Do not go out there, and you got to be in tune with the individual that you're about to walk down the aisle, because, like I say, you're entering into a covenant, and that's what you must take serious, because a covenant is forever. Well, that's what it's intended to be, ever. So you enter into a covenant. Make sure that the individual that you're entering into with have what it is they need to enter into it. For example, when you enter into a covenant, a man takes on a wife, and a wife submits herself unto a man, and they become into a covenant. Well, make sure that she's all together before she thinks of offering you any of her. See, sometimes she ain't got herself. So how can she offer you her when she ain't all together herself? See, you can't go through marriage putting band-aids on everything. Gotta address it. Comprehend, understand about self-love.
My best friend used to tell me all the time, Tracy, do you want to be right or do you want to be married? She said, I want you to think about that. Because you sit here and you arguing your point to me, and you arguing your point to me, but all I'm hearing is your point. She's like, and this is why she's my best friend. She said, but all I hear is your point. She said, I want you to think, are you willing and prepared to spend the rest of your life to prove this point? You want to be married or you want to be right? See, because if you want to be married, then you need to compromise. If you want to be married, you need to have a conversation. You want to be married, you need to get an understanding with your husband. But if you want to be right, keep on fighting that point. And then you can cuddle up with your point at night. Your point gonna take out the trash. Your point gonna pay them bills. But you gonna be right while you dragging that bag of trash to the curb. You gonna be right while you cutting your grass. But you're gonna be lonely because you want it to be right. It's not always about right and wrong. It's about compromise and understanding. So she's like, you want to be right or you want to be married? I'm like, girl, don't getting on my nerves. She's like, you want to be right or you want to be married? It's your choice. And then she's like, yeah, she's like, you know you want to be married, so I don't even know if you need to sit down and talk it down. She's like, I don't want to hear about it. Sit down and talk to your husband. Because I already gave you my point. My point is you can be right or you can be married. So I want to be married.
Yeah. And as men, it doesn't take away from us to do self-check. Because we be in left field.
Yeah, it's like the old couple that get on the road and the husband made the wrong turn. And the wife said, you made the wrong turn. They get back there again. She's like, you made the wrong turn. Okay, let him figure out he made the wrong turn. You said it. You don't have to keep saying it. You don't have to keep trying to put him down to make your point. Eventually, he's going to get tired of driving in this circle. He's going to pull over and figure out where to go. So it's not always about being right all the time.
And another thing, honesty. I think my wife feels like I'm too honest sometimes.
Hello, Diana.
Yeah, Diana, she said, hey.
Good person. Yeah, I believe if, well, you know what? My thing, this is my philosophy just on this part of life. When I was a kid, my mama asked me something, I lied. I lied because I was scared. Well, I'm grown. I don't have to lie because I'm not scared.
Yeah.
So whether it gets me closer to the bedroom or it pushes me out of my car, I'm gonna tell the truth. Because guess what? Now I gotta think of another lie to cover this one, to cover that one, to cover that one. Next thing you know, you done told 15 lies and can't remember the first one.
Yeah.
So guess what?
Yes.
If it put me in a doghouse, or if it give me happy and it don't matter, I take it on the chin both ways. But my conscience is clear. I can go to sleep at night.
And we do that for our kids too. Like,
I tell the truth.
We had this glass on our dresser in our room, and it came up missing. Like, it had to be broken. We saw pieces of glass on the dresser, and we're like, okay, so who did it? Well, the kids were scared to tell us who did it, and we had to tell them, look, you don't have to be scared. Everybody got a job. We just want to know who got to pay us for the glass. Ain't nobody in trouble, but you're going to pay for what you broke. See, there's going to be a consequence to your action, but it's not the one you're expecting. Right. We want them to know that they can come and talk to us. You ain't got to be scared to talk to us.
Mistakes are okay.
Mistakes are okay. We all make them.
Mm-hmm.
The important thing is working through it, acknowledging you made the mistake, and doing what you can to correct it. Accountability. So, after we talked to them, and we talked and we joked and we laughed and we told them, look, ain't nobody in trouble. We just need to know who's paying us for our glass. They thought, okay, I messed it up. I broke the glass.
And on top of that, he admitted to breaking it, but he still ain't paid.
Nope, he still ain't paid for it. At least you know who broke it. And at least they know that they can talk to us. I think it's important.
It wasn't even about the glass. It's about the lesson.
It's about the lesson and being accountable.
And my thing about it is, that's one thing I do. I challenge all my kids for a lesson. I lecture my kids because I want to figure out how they think.
And
it's the lesson.
And taking accountability and responsibility for your actions is very important in life, because that's the best lesson you learn. When you go to school and you take that test and you get 3 of the answers wrong, I bet you never did them 3 answers wrong again, because it's going to bother you that you got them wrong. And you have to go back and find the right answers. And when it comes to you again, you're going to remember going back and finding the right answers to those questions. So, responsibility and accountability.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. Here's a situation. My wife will be out somewhere and she'll get to going. She will be 130% wrong. As a husband, I have to back her.
Until we get home.
I check her in private. I check her in private. I won't check her in public. I support her in public. When I get home, I take her in that room. Are you crazy? I'm going in now. But I have to get her to understand. You were totally wrong. And she said, I'm sorry. I want you to be sorry.
Just
do better.
Do better.
Just do better.
Yeah.
We trying to figure it out. It ain't hard. It ain't easy. It's hard.
We come a long way.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, Diana said the truth will set you free.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, we come a long way. Listen, man. I think I done been in the ring with Mike Tyson 13 times. And you see what I'm saying? And we went 15 rounds every time, man. But you know what? If I had to do it all over again, I wouldn't change it.
I wouldn't change it either.
That's awesome. Well, I never appreciate y'all sharing y'all story.
Oh, anything.
Might help some couples or future couples. Check this out.
Yeah.
Going to do another episode. Going down, have more people on it.
Okay.
Talk about more aspects of relationships.
Well, let us know so we can chime in, so we can be there on there and see. Maybe we or maybe we can learn something, because we ain't saying we pros. We just been working at it a long time. So we open.
Yeah, I'm feeling on Diane put up.
Exactly. We're not perfect.
No, I'm just important to a marriage.
So, we can have conversations with other couples. Maybe they can help us with something that we haven't figured out yet. Maybe we can help them. I'm always here to help somebody else, to help lift somebody up. To be encouraged to somebody.
So
and I'm also
you have what's going on now, let's work with y'all and other people. Great conversation.
But you know, before we go, you know something else I do?
What's that?
Every now and then, I haven't did it in a while, but it's this thing I call open conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And what I do is we get a whole bunch of, some people be married, some people be single, you know, just a group of people, because everybody thinks different. And when we get index cards, everybody write 2 questions on the index cards. We have one individual who don't write nothing on index cards. He reads all the cards. And we just get everybody's view.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, everybody got different view. Write whatever you want to write on that card.
And it's confidential, so if you don't want to let everybody know that it's your question, nobody knows who answers the question. But you get everybody's aspect and everybody's different perception or views on it.
Because we all got questions we would like to ask, but we'll be embarrassed to ask. So that's
a good idea. They can send it to my email. People that have been on the show, and I'll read them off. And those will be the topic.
So no one knows. We put them on the index. No one knows
who asks
what. So my thing about it is, if that's what they want to do, they could take the index card, write their 2 questions on, and just mail it to a post office box. You go get the post office box. We don't know who asked what.
But you can address the questions and get different perceptions and different views.
Different views,
perceptions. You always have to be open to learn something.
Okay.
And, you know, only thing I do is we don't because it's a wide genre. We don't talk about religion.
Because people like to argue about it. I hate to argue with people about religion.
Yeah, they're not trying to really
get right. Because you have to know everybody's not open to listening.
They just want to get their point across.
They just want to get their point. What they believe is what it is, and they're not open to anything else. And I need to be able to talk to somebody who's open.
We need to respect everybody's
views.
Right.
Respect their views. And
respect their religion and respect what they believe in.
Absolutely. All right. Well, I want to thank my mentor and big bro, Donald, and his amazing wife, Patrice.
Thank you.
Sharing their story to help some people. And this is the first step of knowing the other aspects of the show. First step is help people find their purpose. But I cover all topics. And relationship is definitely something.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but let us know because we would love to chime in and listen and hear other stories.
Well, matter of fact, you can do me a favor by scheduling another for the show, for a Saturday. And that'll be the next one.
Okay.
I do it that way.
All right.
So you do that, we get off. I know that'll be the next one, and I get some people added with.
Okay.
Oh yeah, definitely. Because the more views, you know, we can tackle it all.
Oh yeah, we're gonna talk.
Yeah. All that we get, we gotta make sure we get understanding.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be understanding.
Yeah.
We're gonna be respectful.
Yeah.
Grown conversation.
Listen. I'm at 10 toes down. I'm on board always. I'm always on board for good conversation. I'm always on board.
All right, so I get the response when you schedule the next appearance. And that'll be next episode.
Okay.
Sounds like a plan.
All right, play this outro. This is awesome. Hope everybody have a great night.
You do.
Till next time. Appreciate you.
Take care, man.
me. Detroit